You're watching ESPN's coverage of Championship Week as we welcome you to the Ohio Valley Conference Softball Championship here on ESPN+. Coming to you live from OSF Healthcare Field at the Louisville Slugger Park in Peoria. And then there were two. She's Kirsten Dell, I'm Max Toma. It's Championship Saturday. Eastern Illinois trying to repeat the 1 seed. They've only needed to play 2 games so far. Meanwhile, it's a Lindenwood team that has won back-to-back elimination games and now playing in the title game for the very first time.
Yeah, absolutely. And EIU coming into this feeling really confident. But if you're Lindenwood, they've put together a really, really nice tournament. And I think they're excited to have a chance to punch their ticket to postseason.
Anything could happen when you make it this far. Lindenwood is going to have to win 2 games today. They'll have to win this one at 11, come back about 30 to 45 minutes later and do it again. Eastern Illinois, they only need 1 more win on the season to go back to regionals for the 2nd year in a row. They won on Thursday. They won on Friday. It's been pretty comfortable so far for the Panthers. We'll see how it breaks out here today. Lindenwood trying to win their first ever OVC Championship. Eastern Illinois trying to win back-to-back and a 3rd in 4 years. The tournament bracket is presented by Discover Peoria. With endless options, there's no shortage of fun to discover in Peoria. Visit peoria.org to discover what Peoria has to offer. It's the trophy on the line today on this Saturday morning in Peoria, Illinois. Lindenwood and Eastern Illinois, the 4th seed and the regular season champs when we come back.
Number 5, Mary Beth Dyson.
Championship Saturday, we're just about ready to get underway. Lindenwood will be the visiting team, Eastern Illinois, the home team. If the Lions win, we play a 2nd today. If the Panthers take the victory here, it's back-to-back years where they are conference tournament crown winners. And it should be a fun one here today because these 2 teams played 3 times in the regular season. We had 2 absolute thrillers, including maybe the game of the year, that wild, high-scoring one that went 14 innings. Eastern Illinois did get the sweep. We've talked about it throughout the week. If you go 3-0 in the regular season against a team, it's tough when you face them in the postseason to win a 4 straight time.
Absolutely. Always hard to beat a team 4 times, but certainly EIU up for the task. They've certainly had the easiest route when you look at the bracket, have come in and played 2 games and have really scored a ton of runs in this tournament so far. Where for Lindenwood, they've had to come in and really claw their way back in a lot of games. They've had their backs up against the wall for now 4 games, and they've really had to just grind and dig and find just a little something extra. And so you're kind of dealing with two different styles of teams where Lindenwood coming in and have played a lot of softball this week versus EIU coming in a little bit more fresh, but haven't played as much softball under kind of this pressure.
This is a time of year where you really start to lean on your veterans and your seniors. And the thrilling thing about this championship game, we've seen a lot of young players in the circle throughout this tournament. We are going to see 2 seniors in the circle for this one, though, and it starts with Carly McKenzie, who was in this game last year, went the distance, 8 innings of shutout softball, and was crowned the OVC Tournament MVP. And she is going back and getting that start again today. You see what she's done over the last 2 days. I mean, the formula so far for Eastern Illinois has been the exact same. McKenzie goes in 4 innings and a third in the first 2 games of the tournament. Then French comes in and goes the final 2 2/3, so they know the script.
Yeah, and I think they're looking for McKenzie to get off to a hot start and keep these Lindenwood hitters off balance. I think surprisingly, just 6 strikeouts in 8 2/3 innings pitched. McKenzie, a little bit of a higher strikeout pitcher, but has done an excellent job of grinding through at bats. And for Lindenwood, if you're Lindenwood, you went back, you watched film on those regular season games. You've certainly watched film on the 2 games that now McKenzie has pitched, and you have to imagine they're incredibly prepared coming in to face Carly McKenzie.
Lindenwood lineup, I mean, Kylie Crowder and Emily Geary, and Geary moves up in this order today. When they play well, this team can beat just about anybody, and Crowder and Geary have been a little bit hit or miss this week when they brought their A game. I mean, you could see 3 hits and multiple RBIs from both of them, but when they haven't shown up, those are games where Lindenwood has struggled, so it feels like the heart of the order for this team could be critical today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Crowder and Geary are going to be the 2 people that really we need to look to watch. They're coming up a lot of times with runners on base, runners in scoring position, and that's been Lindenwood's struggle kind of this whole tournament, is coming up with that clutch hit. Last night they had a lot of players come in and find that clutch hit, find that hit with runners in scoring position, runners on base. And I think the key for Lindenwood, obviously we see the defense here, but I think the key for Lindenwood is going to be their defense.
Sophia Ullman doing the catching. This defensive alignment and the lineup really hasn't changed all week. Stuyvesant, Wambolt, Smith, and Hatton on the infield. Smith's got a couple of home runs in this tournament. Mo Hance, Mary Beth Dyson, and Alicia Frederick in the outfield left to right. The defensive alignment is presented by United Fidelity Bank. United Fidelity Bank serving their communities since 1914. Beautiful day. It's the best weather day we have had so far in this tournament, and fittingly so on a Saturday afternoon. Saturday morning, really, at the time, with the championship at stake. Madison Knoll climbs in the box, and the first pitch is upstairs from Carly McKenzie.
Couldn't ask for a better day. Sunny, set to be 75 degrees, clear skies.
It's the exact type of atmosphere you dream up when you're talking about championship day in the OVC here at Peoria. Madison Knoll yesterday, between 2 games, was 2 for 8, a couple of runs scored, a double and a walk. Just 3 for 15 over this week. Team that lost their first game of the OVC tournament had the backs against the wall in every game since, and they've rattled off 3 straight wins. So they come in feeling confident, and naturally they're playing the 1 seed and an Eastern Illinois team that comes in with one of the longest active win streaks in the country. They've won 14 straight entering this contest.
Yeah, and I think the reason for the success of EIU has started, obviously we know they have a ton of offense, but they've played a really clean defensive game. We've seen that clean games, no errors so far in this tournament. They've made the routine plays. They've made those plays that are a little less routine, and they've gotten really good pitching.
So that wacky and crazy game they played earlier this season in mid-March, it was 12-11 in 14 innings. Eastern Illinois got the walk-off win. The last 4 runs the Panthers scored that day were because of Lindenwood errors. They had 4 errors that day, and the last 4 runs, all unearned. Blooper out to right, just off the outstretched glove of Smith, and a leadoff base hit.
And really, if there was a question mark for this defense, it would be Smith over there at second base. Has been a little shaky at times. Seems like every time she maybe makes a mistake in the field, comes up big offensively, but just a ball that just out the reach of Smith over there.
Anna Sanders bunts it foul. So no errors There was one error from Smith on that play in the last inning versus SIUE where there was a player that wasn't properly subbed in, so wound up being erased. So in the box score, no errors, but she did have one, and she had one the game before, too. But Smith is in there because of the bat, there's no question. Freshman with 5 home runs over 7 hits this season, a lot coming down the stretch. Off the outside corner, 1-1. 24-game hit streak for Anna Sanders. 3 for 9 day yesterday, 6 for 17 in the tournament so far. She's also drawn 1 walk. Controls the bat well when you're trying to drop down a bunch. She's someone you draw up, loving to have up there. Punts this one in the air, but gets it down. Off balance throw from Stuyvesant, who finishes in foul ground up the first baseline. Really charging quickly to get the out.
Thought Stuyvesant might leave her feet there for a minute to try and catch that ball in the air. Elects to get it on the hop. And really has to get rid of that ball quick, otherwise she doesn't have an angle to get that ball over to first base.
It's a good pitch for McKenzie. Elevated in the zone, got a little bit of a pop-up, just not quite the chance to catch it. So no, it's second now for Tori Hatton. Hatton had a big day yesterday. Was 4 for 7, scored 3 times, also had a couple walks. 2 extra base hits in there that were massive. A double, that go-ahead triple down the right field line. The senior from Troy, Michigan takes a strike.
And you said it, Max, in the open. If they can get Hatton and Crowder and Geary going, they certainly have a chance. Again, Hatton comes up. It seems like this has been the story for Lindenwood all tournament. They're getting runners on. They're getting them in scoring position. They're getting him in scoring position as Hatton drills that one up the middle. Hatton's done an excellent job all tournament of staying up the middle. All of her really hard hit balls have been right up the middle of the field. But if, like I said, if they can get Hatton and Crowder and Geary going with runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs, big opportunity to capitalize here. That's when Lindenwood's really been cooking.
Yeah, the senior from Troy, Missouri with the base hit there. So a couple singles in this inning. Had the stop sign at third. Dyson's got a good arm. She gets a lot of momentum behind the throw in center. And, well, we talked about it right from the onset when we looked at the lineup. It feels like this day, if Lindenwood wants to pull off the upset, is going to come down to what they can get from Crowder and Geary, and what a chance right in front of them in this first inning. Here's Crowder. Geary's on deck. Great chance to take the lead.
Crowder seems like as this OVC tournament has progressed, she's also progressed and evolved, having better at-bats, hitting the ball much more square.
She's got 4 hits only across 4 games, but those knocks have produced 6 runs. There's 3 extra base hits in there, including a homer. And it feels like every time she's up there, there's somebody at third and fewer than 2 outs. Trying to give the Lions the lead in the first inning. On the ground into left field, she'll do just that. 7 RBIs in the OVC tournament so far for Kylie Crowder.
Really good sign if you're Lindenwood with Hatton and Crowder, and now you have Emily Geary, arguably one of the hottest hitters up to bat right now.
So 3 singles in the inning, and now Geary with a big cut. You think back to, Madison Knoll led off this inning with that blooper into shallow right. It was right off the mid of Smith. This game of inches. A fortunate break on that first batter, then a sacrifice bunt, back-to-back hits, and now you give it to Geary, who had 4 hits and a couple RBIs yesterday. Checks up on a called strike.
Seems like those last 2 pitches had a little extra something on them by McKenzie.
She was 3 for 3 with 3 extra base hits, a walk, and a sac fly in their win late last night against SIUE. Well, that one 13-5, running away late.
That sac fly hit all the way to the warning track as well. Was barreling balls up.
And they're picking up where they left off last night because they put up a 5 spot in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, had 10 runs in their last 3 innings entering today, and now they have struck again. Geary takes just off the plate. You can hear on both those ball calls some of the Panthers on the infield yelling strike 3. Those have been close pitches.
And very close. And the first inning is always kind of when the pitcher has to feel that strike zone out. What is she getting? What is she not going to get?
And Geary goes down swinging. Huge spot for the first strikeout of the game for Carly McKenzie.
Big K there from McKenzie to get settled in the circle. Utilizing that screwball and that rise ball. And seemed like it just had a little extra velo. Nice job climbing the ladder there.
Carter Skillman now. With this very veteran-laden Lindenwood squad that has 4 seniors in the lineup and a senior in the circle. Skillman is the lone freshman out there. Only one freshman starter for either team in this title game. Just a 1-for-3 day yesterday, but was on 4 times because he drew 3 walks. Bottom of the order that was just raking on opening day in the tournament for Lindenwood. They've cooled off collectively. Skillman, Darnell, and Brown a little bit. But Skillman still very much finding her way on consistently over the last 24 hours. I showcased a keen eye just like that. 2 balls and a strike. Hatton at second, Crowder at first. 1 run home on 3 base hits in this first inning.
Skillman still trying to establish that inner half to lefties. Excuse me, inner half to righties, outer half to lefties. That's where she's at her best, is that pitch right there. Having a hard time finding that outside corner to lefties. And she's going to want to find that screwball because that's when she's at her best, when she can jam those right-handed hitters and go away from those lefties.
Skillman fouls it back, 3-2. It's an all-hands-on-deck type of day, and even with the reigning OVC tournament MVP in the circle, it's already double-barrel action in that Eastern Illinois bullpen. Everybody's got to be ready when it comes down to the championship. 2 on, 2 away. The runners will be in motion on the 3-2, which is tipped right into the mitt of Ullman. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carly McKenzie. Lindenwood does get a run home, though, as Kylie Crowder continues to produce. Her 7th RBI of the tournament, a base hit into left. And the Lions have scored in 4 straight innings going back to yesterday.
From Eastern Illinois, Mary Beth Dyson, Brianna Fringe, Lexi Griffin, Emily Conkle.
Energy needs may change with the seasons, but saving money makes sense all year. With CenterPoint Energy's efficiency programs, it's easy. Home energy assessments help spot ways to save. Rebates can lower heating, cooling equipment costs. And our online marketplace delivers energy-saving products to your door, electric and gas savings, all from your local energy provider. See how you can save this winter by going to centerpointenergy.com/smart-savings.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Member FDIC. Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
This will be the third straight elimination game in which we see Riley Owens. She finished off the 3-2 win versus SEMO early yesterday, going the last 3 innings in shutout fashion. Then got the start last night in the game versus SIUE. Starting pitchers are presented by Johnston's. Johnston's the official recognition company of the OVC. So senior versus senior in the circle. And she gets started with the Conference Player of the Year in Lizzie Stuyvesant. What are you looking for when you're leaning on someone who's been out there a lot over the last 24 hours?
Yeah, absolutely. She pitched really, really well against SEMO, came in and finished that game off and allowed 0 earned runs. Struggled a little bit more in that game against SIUE, went 2 2/3 and gave up 3 earned runs, but has to feel good going out there and already having the lead and pitching from ahead, but certainly needs to be very precise against this really, really good offense in EIU.
Deep in the hole, Madison Knoll with a nice play to get the OVC Player of the Year. Always a huge out to begin the inning. The Panthers have scored 15 runs across their first 2 games of this tournament. This is just game 3 for this lineup that has remained the same. We told you about the potency of Viola Smith and Lexi Griffin. Those are maybe your 2 candidates towards the back half of this lineup for Eastern Illinois. If they have more quality at bats today, it could be a lot of success for this offense. That's off the glove of the third baseman Sanders. A foul ball and a missed opportunity to quickly get a second out. The starting lineup is presented by Rawlings. Rawlings, the #1 softball brand worldwide and widely recognized as the mark of a pro. It's proud to be the official softball of the OVC. That should have been a quiet second out. Instead, it's right back Knoll's way. Charging this time, and 2 quick ground ball outs for Riley Owens.
Nice job there by Owens to get 2 really tough outs in Stuyvesant and Frederick. 2 very softly hit balls. And like I talked about in the open, I think the biggest question mark coming into this game was going to be the defense from Lindenwood. Have struggled throughout this tournament. We mentioned that crazy game in the regular season where they gave up 4 unearned runs in the 13th and 14th inning, which just sounds crazy to say. And so super important for Lindenwood to play a really clean defensive game today and not allow any free passes.
We talked about it yesterday when she was out there because she started with a couple of scoreless innings in a row, and when she's at her best, it's weak ground balls on the infield, just like we've seen. 1-1 to Sophia Ullman. The Panthers catcher drills one out towards the alley in left center. That's going to short hop the wall. Extra bases for Ullman, who drops into second with a 2-out double.
Sophia Ullman just gets a pitch that catches a little bit too much of the white and ultimately makes Owens pay. Nice stroke there from Ullman, just smooth in the gap.
Over her last 9 conference games, Sophia Ullman is 14 for 26. 15 RBIs over that stretch. So I'm sure Owens was thrilled to be facing her with 2 outs and nobody on, but she doubles anyways. And now you get to the big bat of Abby Hatton. She has had a terrific season and a fantastic postseason so far. 4 for 6 with a homer and 5 RBIs. Homered yesterday, shoots that foul to the screen.
And leads this team in RBIs with 46 on the season. Certainly the person you want up to bat with runners in scoring position. Does a great job of knocking those runs in.
Drove in 4 in their win yesterday, had 2 extra base hits. Shoots this out towards shallow left field and gliding across is Brown. And a scoreless first inning for Riley Owens. Works around a 2-out double. And through one inning, it's the 4-seed Lindenwood with the lead here at Peoria.
Quarter Light Pitching Mounds has set the standard for lightweight, durable pitching machines.
Good first inning for the underdog Lindenwood Lions. 7, 8, 9 due up.
The catcher, number 9, Danielle.
He's stranded two, but got a big base hit from one of the two players we highlighted in the lineup. That always makes us feel good in the booth when we talk about the keys to any game, and then one of them pretty much shows out right away. 2 of the 3 games these teams played against each other were insanely high scoring, so very early start, a lot of softball left to go. Drifting back with the win, Frederick makes the catch. As the catcher, Frines, retired to start this second. So when you've got somebody who everybody in the program has the utmost faith in the circle with Carly McKenzie, knowing what she's accomplished in her career, what she did last year in this very game. Not to mention 7-0 in the regular season in conference play, already 2-0 in the OVC tournament too. There's probably no deficit that would ever feel too large because, I mean, you know the offense is great and you really expect her to go out and compete her tails off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what really needs to give her confidence is her offense. Her offense is going to put runs on the board. You saw an extra base hit in that last half inning, and certainly if you're McKenzie, you're still going out there. You're just trying, again, she's just trying to kind of find that screwball, that rise ball. Found that rise ball in that first inning and was able to get 2 swinging on that rise ball. But certainly that's the pitch for her if she's going to go deep into this game that she needs to find, is that away pitch to lefties and in pitch to righties, and then still just trying to feel out her rise ball. Sometimes early in the game you're still feeling out pitches. We haven't seen her go to her off-speed pitch at all, so still just trying to feel out her hard stuff.
What to Dallas Darnell. And she went around for strike 3. 3 strikeouts in the last 4 batters now. And it was something you talked about with McKenzie coming into this game. The strikeout numbers were a little bit low for what you normally see from her.
And that is the exact pitch I was just talking about, was that pitch on the outer corner. A little more screw than rise, but she can make that pitch rise and go up in the zone.
Taryn Brown goes after the first pitch, serves it out to left field. And a much better second inning for Carly McKenzie. 3 up, 3 down. She's fine at 5 straight retired, 3 Ks over that stretch. And maybe that gets some momentum back with the 1 seed Eastern Illinois as they grab the bats for a second time.
Fans, welcome to Peoria. While you're here for softball, remember there's no shortage of fun in this area. Visit
with Riley Owens in the circle. Mostly the defenses remain the same throughout the tournament with Brown, Crowder, and Geary in the outfield, Sanders, Knoll, Darnell, and Hatton across the infield. The one difference has been the catcher, which has remained the same the last 2 days. That's Franz, and Mo Hantz is retired on the first pitch she sees today.
So far, Owens inducing really weak contact. Seems to be rolling here early on. I was a little surprised to see Owens get the start. She's been fantastic in this tournament, but we didn't see WAP, and so I thought maybe we'd see WAP today. She is a little bit on a pitch restriction because of, really not a pitch restriction, just pain tolerance restriction because of the injury she's battling through. But Owens gets the nod today and really living up to it so far.
And that's the tough thing. It's a very fluid situation. You don't know, and you probably ask her every morning, how are you feeling today, right? Because she's dealing with that partially torn labrum. We could see her at some point today. We don't know. Obviously, it's back to the wall for Lindenwood. Eastern Illinois, if they lose this game, has another chance coming right after it later this afternoon. But for Lindenwood, it feels more like it could be a patchwork effort in the circle. For Eastern Illinois, you probably know the two arms you're going to see.
Absolutely, yeah. They obviously want Mackenzie to go as far as she can, but I think the leash is going to be pretty short for Mackenzie, knowing that you do have French to come in, and French has done a great job of shutting hitters down.
Went out walked to Lexi Griffin for that great first game after being named the OVC Player of the Week, the final week of the regular season. She came in red hot. One of the big threats towards the bottom of this EIU lineup. And now Mary Beth Dyson, the senior from Arkansas, who came over from Missouri Southern a couple years ago. Just one base hit in this tournament. 1 for 7, has scored a couple times. Someone whose role has really grown over the last couple of years. 22 starts last year when she was in year 2 at the program, the first year under Dan and Christy Paulson. This is her 56th start, though, here in 2026. Tapper right back to Owens, goes to second for 1. They get the lead runner.
Owens showing her athletic ability, has fielded now a few ground balls right back to her and immediately goes to second base, knowing she needs to get that lead runner.
Yeah, we had mentioned the infield needs to be ready defensively when Riley Owens is out there because she induces so many ground balls. That includes herself because she's fielded a few already. 2 in this inning.
So far doing an excellent job of living in the lower half of that zone. If you're these EIU hitters, the adjustment you have to make is hitting that bottom half of the ball. Like what we saw Ullman do.
And this is where you got to be careful. You're down in the 8th spot. This is potentially the most dangerous 8-hole hitter in the Ohio Valley Conference. 7 hits on the season. Only 8 starts in the regular season, but of those 7, 5 have been homers.
And 2 so far in this conference tournament, and they have been bombs. They have not just been home runs that have snuck over the fence. They have been absolute bombs.
The average is 212. The slugging is almost 700.
There you go, right there. That the story of her season, right?
On the ground, that stays fair. And Sanders across the way for the final out. So another scoreless inning, just like the start late last night for Riley Owens. It's the first 2 in shutout fashion, and Lindenwood maintains their slim advantage. 1 run on 3 hits, all of them singles across the first 4 batters of the game for Lindenwood. And now we're right back to the top of their lineup as we start this 3rd inning. 1-2-3 due for Lindenwood, 9-1-2 coming up for Eastern Illinois. And Carly McKenzie, after a uncharacteristically slow start in the circle, seems like she's found some. 5 straight retired, 3 swinging strikeouts over that stretch. Noel got to her with that bloop single to right her first time up. I mean, that ball was oh so close to being caught. That's the 1 run so far that came around to score.
Now 2nd time through this lineup. That's one of the first times I've seen McKenzie go to that off-speed pitch, trying to just find her hard stuff that first time through the lineup. Now the 2nd time through this lineup, going to start showing that off-speed, maybe mixing speeds in a little bit more. And that's exactly where McKenzie's successful, that up and in pitch to right-handed hitters. That's where she's found her success all season, where she's found her success in this tournament, is getting right-handed hitters to get jammed.
We're seeing 2 starters with very different stuff. A lot of swing and miss stuff up in the zone from McKenzie. When you get contact, it's more pop-ups and fly balls. And then for Owens, trying to keep everything on the ground. I'm not going to see a lot of strikeouts on that side. Knocked down and fielded and thrown over to first by Carly McKenzie for the first out.
Now by the third baseman, number 29.
She fields her position. That was almost in a stoic manner. Very calm. Just knocked it down, didn't panic. Nice and easy.
Yeah, knew she had a ton of time there. Does a nice job of, like you said, staying calm and not panicking.
Hit streak at 25 games in a row now for Anna Sanders. And how many times has it been a first pitch single this week?
Up here in the booth shaking my head because that's just insane. Just aggressive, gets on top of that pitch.
Number 10, Tori Hatton.
And if I'm those Lindenwood hitters, I am watching. I'm trying to get in the head of Anna Sanders. Like, what is your approach mentally at the plate? Because she's seen the ball well, having excellent at-bats, swinging at the right pitches and the right counts, and just incredible, incredible run.
I'd be asking her what she's having in the morning for breakfast at the
Yeah,
hotel.
that too,
Are you
that
going
too.
outside the hotel
Yeah,
for breakfast?
That too.
What's the pregame ritual? Because it's obviously doing something special. Like 25 games in a row with the hit. She's probably not thinking it, obviously, because it's the championship game and there's much more at stake than her hitting streak, which we'll live to see another game. But if I was her, first time up, she was asked to drop down a sacrifice bunt. You don't have a lot of chances in a 7-inning game to extend a hit streak. But selfless, nevertheless. Successful bunt the first time, and now a single on the first pitch she sees second time up. Tori Hatton also singled back in that first inning. Hitting .500 in this tournament. Now 7 for 14. While also drawing 3 walks.
Has really used the middle of this field. It seems like everything she's hit is hard right back up the middle.
There's another smash, this one the other way into right. She's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. And once again, there's 2 aboard for Lindenwood for this spot in the lineup we've been harping on. Crowder and Geary to follow.
And she's one of those hitters with how well she does staying inside the softball, with how well she works the middle of the field. She's one of those few hitters, if you are McKenzie, that you're going to have a little bit more trouble sneaking that ball in the inner half because she stays inside of the softball so incredibly well. And you see just that ball in on the hands, but still able to barrel that up and hit it the other way.
It is such a hard pitch to lay off.
So
Up
hard.
and in rise to righties.
I was the victim of it far too many times in my career.
And we've got some clips to go to. No, I'm just kidding. We wouldn't do you like that.
Still, sometimes when I watch it, I still feel victimized by that pitch. See another off-speed pitch. Just to help change the eye level, change the timing of the hitter. A lot of times you're going to follow up an off-speed pitch with something hard in.
Crowder had the RBI single her first time up. Trying to come through again as she fouls it back. Another player we could talk about. Just a great development story. 11 starts a year ago, hit 176 and 1 RBI in all of 2025. At 26 in the regular season, has 7 now in the postseason alone this week in Peoria. And this time lays off the high and inside rise.
That was a good take there by Crowder. Hard, especially with 2 strikes to lay off that pitch. We talked about the veteran leadership, the senior leaders on this Lindenwood team, and talked about the evolution of every one of these players from freshman year to senior year, and how every year over year, it just seems like they've matured, and every single one of them has gotten better offensively.
Gets her with the high rise this time. 4 strikeouts for Carly McKenzie, and 3 of them have come with multiple runners on base.
Now by the right fielder, number 28, Emily.
Tough pitch. Crowder does a good job of laying off that ball on the inner half and up, but just can't lay off that one on the outer half and ups. Again, such a hard pitch to lay off of, and if you're Coach Paulson, certainly a good sign from the dugout, watching McKenzie find that rise ball. That's really the pitch for her that has allowed her to be as successful as she has been in conference play.
9-0 in OVC games this season, including the 2 wins over the last 2 days. Emily Geary was her first strikeout victim back in that 1-run first. And cuts through it here. She's seen a few of those high rises that she's viciously cut at and missed. And she's thinking if she can get a hold of one, could really turn this game around and open things up. 8 homers in the regular season, 5 extra base hits already this week in Peoria. The 1-1 is fouled back.
And if you're Geary at this point, you're going to see a steady dose of those balls up in the zone. If you're going to swing at that, you really have to try and hit the top half of that ball.
Able to lay off. This is back-to-back at bats where it's been a 1-2 high rise that Crowder and then Geary took. Crowder went after the next one and struck out. See if Carly McKenzie goes right back to the well again. Sanders at second, Hatton at first. A 1-run lead. The 2-2. Fouled back. Just got the barrel to it.
Good sequence there by McKenzie, going up and then goes screwball away. I think you're going to see her come back up again. You see Geary scoot up in the batter's box. She's trying to catch that rise ball before it jumps. It's all the way up in the front of the batter's box now.
Geary with a fly ball out to Hanson left. And 2 more runners stranded by Carly McKenzie. And she keeps the deficit at 1. Eastern Illinois will send 9-1-2 due up. Looking to get to Riley Owens for the first time.
Hey girls, swung the new mantra yet?
No, but I heard that bat is insane.
Y'all want to swing for it?
Yeah, we do, but we know how that went last time.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls, come on. Man, y'all can stand on your own. I guess I'll give you a couple.
We'll actually take 4.
Mantra, power on repeat.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Chloe Wambolt will lead off the EIU third. 26 pitches through 2 scoreless innings. 5 of the 6 outs, just like yesterday, have been ground ball outs induced for Riley Owens. The 3rd inning is when she struggled yesterday. The 2nd time through the lineup, she gave up a few runs, got pulled. See how she can manage a 2nd time through the lineup. This is the first time facing Wambolt, and then we're back to the top.
Yeah, Wambolt in that 9-hole kind of acts as a second leadoff. That lefty slapper. You're going to see that a lot more often in softball with that lefty slapper in the 9-hole. Sometimes you'll see them kind of 1-2 or 9-1. Does a good job of turning the order over to the top of the lineup.
So Wambolt in that wild 12-11 win was the leadoff hitter. She started the day 0 for 6 and then picked up 1 single. It was the last swing of the game. Had a walk-off single in the 14th. You probably forget about the 6 prior at-bats when it finishes off with, the cooler being dumped on you, walk-off fashion at home, and a big win. But an 0 for 6 day, that's a tough start through 13 innings for the leadoff.
Yeah, and you have to give her a ton of credit. Obviously, she's going to, just foul. She was going to be off to the races if that ball landed in fair territory. But absolutely, when those crazy games go 10, 11, 12, and in this case 14 innings and you're 0 for, really hard to stay mentally in it when your number gets called and you're going up to bat. You're almost, I've been there where you're just hoping that you aren't the one to come up to bat. I mean, you are actually hoping it's not going to be you because you just feel like you're not seeing the ball well. And to be able to mentally stay in it and find that base hit that ultimately won her the game, like you said, yeah, you forget about those other 6 at-bats.
It's one of those games where you think in their head, are they looking at the scoreboard out there and seeing their average just actively go down each time they come up? But finished strong, has incredible speed, but cannot leg out. An infield hit. Another play for Sanders. She's made back-to-back. So 6 ground ball outs, first time through the order.
Their baseman, number 14, Lizzie Stuyvesant.
There, 2 balls hit in the air, a double and a fly out to left, and then the walk too. Now 2nd time through, how does it change knowing, hey, everything's been hit on the ground so far, how do we adjust as an offense?
Well, I think you've already seen the adjustment just as Stuyvesant steps in the box. She went to the front of that batter's box. She is clearly at the front of the plate, trying to get that down ball. You see she just has to leave enough room for that foot, but trying to get that ball before it drops down in the zone, trying to catch it at its highest point. And if you're these hitters, you're trying to stay on your backside a little bit longer so that you can get a little bit more lift to the softball. A lot of times when you are too far in the middle or out on your front foot, you end up hitting that ball hard down in the ground. If you can stay on your back leg and get underneath the softball, you can get some lift.
She drills one foul to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lizzie Stuyvesant, who was named the OVC Player of the Year on Tuesday, came into the tournament with a 7-game hit streak. That ended in the first game, but she did draw a few walks. 2 for 7 with 3 walks in the tournament so far. And gets hit by the pitch. Just stood in there and wore it.
That's Owen's 12th hit by pitch of the season. And I think Coach Brown just wants to have a chat with home plate umpire Easton Litton because she really didn't make an attempt to get out of the way of that. I think this ball will still go as a hit by pitch, but I think Coach Brown just wants to have a conversation, maybe get together to see if she, you don't have to make an attempt, but did she even maybe stick that knee out there a little bit to try and force that hit by pitch?
I mean, she was pretty static in the box. Saw this coming right at her and took it like a champ.
And clearly tries to get out of the way of that. You see that back leg starting to drive into her swing.
I mean, that's a very natural movement.
Absolutely, yeah. That back leg starting to get turned.
So she's at first as Frederick comes back up. They've had 3 base runners, a hit by pitch, a walk, and a double. Frederick, a tapper up the first baseline. Going to be a tough play. The flip is not in time. There's the speed of Alicia Frederick. The second base hit for Eastern Illinois. And speed paying off.
We might see a challenge here. Looks like Frederick does hit the top of the base. Didn't do a great job of hitting the front of first base, and so I think going to have a conversation here before she decides to challenge. Obviously, you get 2 challenges. If you are correct, you get to keep that challenge. If you are not, you do lose a challenge, and so I think Coach Brown wondering if she wants to lose a challenge this early. Also giving herself a little bit of time. They may have an iPad in the dugout that they can replay themselves, but looks like we are going to have a challenge.
So playing a review, Lindenwood challenging the call at first. We had a play with Kylie Crowder yesterday that was bang bang that was challenged, where she also didn't quite get the front of the base. And this looks like one that could be overturned.
Yeah, this looks like one that could and should be overturned. Frederick just doesn't hit the front of first base, but even if she does hit the front of first base, I don't think she is going to get in there safely.
So with those looks at it, you would imagine this would be a call that would be overturned. Take the base hit away from Frederick. Give some credit to the defense because that was positioned well and played well. Just barely did they get Darnell over there to tap the bag in time. It would be runner at second with 2 outs for Sophia Ullman. Another big call looming early. As you mentioned, you get 2 challenges. If you win your challenge, you keep it. So she would still have 2 if Erin Brown does get this call to go her way. And it looks like a pretty quick review. They were pretty confident in it. Erin Brown immediately came out of the dugout. Bang, bang call at first, and a huge decision here in the 3rd inning. 1-run game. It's either 2 on with 1 out or just a runner at second with 2 away. Call overturned. Erin Brown wins the challenge. And a second out of this inning. And now after the review, a trip out to the circle. This was about the time where Riley Owens was pulled yesterday. And it looks like she will be pulled on this occasion, too. A great effort from the senior lefty, though. She goes 2 2/3 innings, no runs, only gave up 1 base hit, is responsible for a runner at second. We'll tell you all about the new arm in the circle for the Lions when we come back.
Sophia.
In that
Ulman.
extra inning walk-off win yesterday over SEMO for Lindenwood 3-2, Samantha Rowanitis was stellar. She came in after Avery Wapp departed in the first inning and went 4 1/3 innings, giving up just 1 run. Did allow 10 base runners, 6 hits and 4 walks, but was at her best always with runners aboard, and that is the situation she will inherit here. 2 outs, runner at second, with a 3 spot in the lineup in Sophia Ulman.
Big spot here for Rowanitis. Arguably one of the best hitters in this Eastern Illinois lineup in Ulman. Already has a double today.
Chopper towards Knoll, charging. Headlong dive, but out at first. Ulman, who doubled her first time up, can't quite leg it out. Samantha Rowanitis comes in out of the bullpen with the tying run at scoring position, and this infield continues to show out for Lindenwood as they maintain the short advantage. Well, some momentum early on here for Lindenwood as they try to win one and force a second. Eastern Illinois has had some comfortable wins in this tournament, especially yesterday. They held on a couple days ago versus SEMO, but 15 runs across 2 games. Had just the 1 hit through 3 innings today. And now Carly McKenzie trying to keep the deficit right where it is. And Lindenwood has played quite well. They've got 5 base hits. They've stranded 4 through a couple innings. We've seen some good work in the circle from the likes of Owens and now Rowanitis. And maybe most importantly, the defense has not made a mistake yet.
And they've made good plays and some tough plays where they've had to throw on the run because Owens did such a good job of inducing such weak contact. Lots of plays over to the left half of that infield where they're having to throw on the run off 1 foot.
Skilbert takes a strike. She struck out swinging her first time up. Hitting in the 6th spot. I mean, all the base hits have come from the top half of the lineup so far. Was Tardy here with a 2-1 offering. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 combined 0 for 6 against McKenzie so far. From 2-0 to 2-2, as that's flip foul. Tough matchup for the true freshman. In her first ever, in the program's first ever OVC Tournament Championship game for a school that's now postseason eligible for the first time in 2025-2026. So if they win 2 today, they would be bound for regionals. Eastern Illinois made it to the Austin Regional last year, went 0-2 against Texas and UCF. they're probably hoping, I would imagine, if they win, no matter who wins, that they wouldn't be going to the team that eventually wins the national championship.
Absolutely.
Unless you really want to play the best of the best. You want to maybe make the trip to Oklahoma. Good 2-2, doesn't get the call, and the count is full.
We're seeing Mackenzie go to that off-speed pitch a little bit more this second time through the lineup. Didn't see it at all that first time through the lineup, but now that second time through the lineup, definitely going to that off-speed pitch a little bit more in these at-bats.
Skillman just hanging around. Drew 3 walks through the first 4 games of this tournament. They all came yesterday. Patient hitter for a freshman. And 19 walks in the regular season, just about the same number of strikeouts. It's 19-20. And tries another base on ball. Second time that Lindenwood has had the leadoff runner aboard. And the last time they brought her around to score.
We're going to see a pinch runner here for Skillman.
Izzy Wilcox has been doing a lot of pinch running this week.
Entering the game to run for the Lions, number 15, Izzy Wilcox.
Had a stolen base yesterday. Also had it at bat. Went 1 for 1. Also drew a walk, too, in that 13-5 win. So stole a base last night. She's got wheels and is back on with an opportunity with Daniel Franz, the catcher.
You have to imagine Franz is going to get the sack bunt.
That's what the corner infielders are thinking. Swinging away, though. We've seen throughout the tournament, sometimes you give a hitter 1 strike to work with, get your swing off, and then drop it down.
Exactly. That's what happens a lot of times. They'll give you 1, but we'll see what Coach Brown decides to do. You do have speed at first, could put a hit and run on, potentially going to give her the swing again. And now with 2 strikes, that wasn't a legal pitch, though, so that will go down as a ball. Looks like Mackenzie stepped out of the lines. She's struggled with that a little bit today, in this tournament.
That was Dan Maldonado, the third base umpire, that made that call. We've seen him make a few of those this week.
Looks like they called her for lifting that front foot.
It's a big call because it would have been 0-2. Instead, now it's 2 balls and a strike. So count leverage for Franz. And that walk-off base hit earlier in the tournament. In her first at-bat of the week. What a welcome to Peoria that was.
Yeah, and really earned herself starts the rest of this way. Since that base hit, has started every game.
First at bat came in the 9th inning yesterday. In a tie game with 2 outs. 2-2, got her looking. First backwards K of the game for Mackenzie. She continues to pile up the punch outs.
With a hitter like Franz, really surprised not to see the sacrifice bunt there with nobody out. You have speed on the base paths, and you have Darnell and Brown, who are good contact hitters. They don't strike out a ton. They make contact. But Coach Brown elects to give Franz the ability to swing away and unable to capitalize on that.
You kind of add to that the fact that Darnell and Brown, 2 contact hitters, 2 almost exclusively singles hitters. So if you had a runner at second, would just take a single to score a run. You probably need a couple of base hits, though, if you're going to get Wilcox around from first.
Absolutely. That exactly was my thought, was getting a runner on second base. You sneak one through the infield, and you potentially can get another run. They're going to try and...
A stolen base, second in as many days for Izzy Wilcox. And a couple times this week we've seen throw come down and the shortstop or second baseman just get into the bag a little bit late.
Too late, yep, exactly. Maybe caught Womble a little bit by surprise in that 0-1 count.
Now a single would score a run. The 0-2's fouled back. So they didn't sacrifice bunt, but a stolen base will help out in that regard. Bottom of the lineup trying to come through. Lindenwood's 7, 8, and 9 hitters in their first game this week against SEMO were 7 for 10 combined. She chokes up a bit. Does Darnell. She struck out her first time. Not someone who's driven in a ton this year. Just 13 RBIs in the regular season across 49 starts. She is 0 for her last 8. Just continuing to spoil good 2-strike pitches.
Yeah, absolutely. McKenzie's living around the zone with 2 strikes, has not gone to that off-speed pitch. Like to see McKenzie go up and away here to set her maybe up for something soft. You always want to be careful about throwing something soft to slappers, to lefties, and does just that, goes up and away.
I mean, if anything, they've got 1 run so far. A lot of traffic. But look at that pitch count, 72, and we're only 1 out into the 4th.
Certainly this is the most McKenzie's had to work so far in this OVC tournament.
And it's still just 0-2. Great eye after fouling off a few.
Good eye and good execution there by McKenzie. That's exactly what you want to do with that 0-2 pitch. Just get Darnell leaning a little bit, thinking about that. I would throw that in that exact same spot again.
Goes back that way, gets the swing. Darnell is just battling. And these are the types of at-bats you feel like they can really get the dugout fired up. When you got somebody hitting 8th who's fighting tooth and nail every single pitch. Making the former OVC tournament MVP work in the circle. Another 2-strike offering, and there's ball 2.
There's McKenzie showing that off-speed pitch. And if you're Darnell, once you see that once and you're able to even the count at 2-2 as a hitter, with how little McKenzie does go to that off-speed, you want to sit on something hard. You don't think you're going to see that off-speed again.
This is one of the best at-bats we've seen all week. From 0-2 to 3-2 with plenty of foul balls in between. Karina Recrozio for UT Martin a few days ago had that 12-pitch at-bat that ended with a single. 3 balls and 2 strikes. McKenzie to Darnell. And that's lifted foul. I mean, at this point, what's going through your head if you're McKenzie?
Absolutely. You're feeling a little bit worn down. You're feeling like, man, I've made some really quality pitches. I've had some really good misses. And just a little bit of probably frustration if you're McKenzie, but if you're McKenzie, you got to just step right back on the rubber and grind this at-bat out. Big time at-bat here with 1 out.
The at-bat that would not end.
And that's going to be an illegal pitch.
So this is going to be an out. It looked like it was going to be an illegal pitch. Not sure if they got Darnell for stepping out of the box on contact there.
It's just a really interesting call from the umpire all the way at second base, Michael Carby. I'm not sure. We'll have to get some more information on that. I'm not sure how Carby can make that call.
Yeah, from there with the fist out, I was thinking that was going to be a free base.
I
think a lot of the crowd thought it was going to be an illegal pitch, too.
Well, I didn't think it was an illegal pitch because he doesn't have a good that illegal pitch absolutely is going to have to come from third base umpire Dan Maldonado. We'll get some more information on that and relay that to you guys, but clearly has to be Darnell stepping out of the box. That's the only possible thing that it could be, but just kind of an odd sequence for that to come all the way from the second base umpire, Michael Garby.
On the 13th pitch of the at-bat.
I mean,
and I certainly don't see it. Taryn Brown down in the count, just like Dallas Darnell was. That's an incredibly tough break for Lindenwood. And absolutely not the way that at-bat deserved to end.
Absolutely not. And just not the call that needs to be made all the way from second base, behind second base. If anything, that needs to be made by the home plate umpire, Easton Litton. And in that situation, she wasn't even slapping. She was hitting away.
I think that's what confused so many folks in attendance here, because they saw the fist out. They see the way that she's been swinging with 2 strikes. There's no way she was just going to normally step out of the box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs, so everybody just got to regroup. 9th spot in the lineup. Lindenwood got a leadoff walk and then a stolen base. They have left 4 on through the first 3 innings. And there's another punch out. 2, now 3 in this inning. As Carly McKenzie has tossed up 3 straight zeros. We're halfway home at a tight one. Eastern Illinois still looking to push a run across for the first time. Bottom of the 4th inning, second time through this lineup for the Panthers. They'll have 4, 5, and 6 against Samantha Rolanitis, who came in and immediately got in the final out last inning. The runner in scoring position. Abby Hatton, who loads up and takes inside. Eastern Illinois for 4 with runners on so far today. I mean, in terms of the total at bats with runners on, Lindenwood's already got 10. Feels like they've had a chance to score in just about every inning. But they've got to be looking up at the scoreboard and feeling like they should be up by more. And against a team like Eastern Illinois, sometimes you need to expand that lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Very rarely has Eastern Illinois been held off the board this season. Second time through the lineup. I like that pitching change by Coach Brown. I think that was a really smart time to go get Owens and put in Rolanitis. Just a different look for these hitters.
Hatton pulls one foul. And this is the single season record for runs scored for Eastern Illinois. Had 7 and 8 scored in their first 2 games, 2 wins this week in Peoria. Able to hold up. Count level at 2-2. So you know they can break through at any point, and we've seen some huge innings from them throughout this tournament. They've also homered more than any other team, so 1 through 9 in this lineup pretty much got a chance to change the game with one swing. That's hit on a humpback line into right field. And a leadoff base hit for Abby Hatton. First time today that Eastern Illinois has had the leadoff runner on.
Just tries to sneak one inside there to Hatton. Does a good job of turning on that. We are going to see a pinch runner for Hatton, trying to get some speed on the bases. Emily Conkle going to come in and run for Hatton.
Clearing the game to run for the Panthers, number 2, Emily Conkle.
So the junior comes in to run. And some words of wisdom from Hatton on the way back as she crosses Mo Hance and probably giving her a quick scouting report.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to give her just a quick idea of where she threw, especially both being lefties, of where she was throwing, and tell Hance kind of what to expect. If there's anything funky about her windup or about the spin on the ball, just something quick to just kind of see if Hance can settle in.
That's what every great hitter does. So Hatton stopped at Hance, right in the batter's box, and then made it over to the on-deck circle. And you can bet your bottom dollar she went in the dugout and did the same to everybody else. And you feel better about getting the scout from someone who just picked up a base hit than someone who maybe just popped out or grounded out and is coming back.
Absolutely, and you said it exactly. That's a really mature player there, is to relay what she was picking up from the batter's box.
Mo Hance just caught a piece. First teamer all conference last year was Mo Hance. Last year as a freshman, she hit .421 in OVC play. One of the 6 hitters in the lineup that hit over 300 in the regular season.
It's not uncommon to have a little bit, I mean, still hitting over 300. Hard to call it a slump, but a little bit of a sophomore slump. That first year, no one has film on you. You're kind of just, you're playing free. And then to come in, a lot of really good players struggle a little bit more their sophomore year offensively, just because these coaches have more film on you. They have more of your tendencies. They know how to throw you a little bit better. And for me personally, too, I think your freshman year, you don't have any expectations. When you have a really, really good freshman year, the expectations you're going to come in and do that again. And sometimes those expectations just get there's just too much pressure. And you start to press a little bit more. You start to swing at pitches you wouldn't normally swing at. And it's quite common. You see a lot of hitters that have really good freshman seasons come in and just are not as productive their sophomore year.
There's a lot of mental aspects to it. The expectations. That's all the way to the screen. Whizzed over the head of Franz as Conkle moves up to second on the wild pitch. We talked yesterday about when you're playing really well, sometimes the game can humble you quickly if you get too confident. That's part of it. And just moving up the scouting report, too. Mo Hance just 1 for 8 so far this week through 3 games. Pulls this one just foul. And with nobody out, she can just pull a ground ball after that wild pitch. That would be a productive at-bat.
And you're seeing the adjustment that these EIU hitters are making. They did it on Owens, and they're doing it on Rolanitis. These hitters are getting in the front half of the batter's box. You see Hans all the way at the front of the batter's box there.
Goes down swinging. First strikeout of the game for any Lindenwood pitcher.
And Rolanitis just climbs the ladder and gets Hans chasing. Good pitch, really quality pitch. Good execution there by Rolanitis. Big out there to keep the runner over there at second base and not have a productive out.
There's another high one. This time, Braun shot out of the crouch. 3 of the 4 innings, Eastern Illinois has had somebody in scoring position. Haven't picked up that timely base hit yet. As Lexi Griffin, who walked her first time up, is in front of the count 2-0.
And when you're these EIU hitters and Rolanitis throwing her off-speed pitch as much as she's been throwing it, she's throwing it 2 and 3 times in and at bat. You have to start thinking maybe if you're these hitters to, when a pitcher is throwing it that much, you can sit on the off-speed if you're seeing it that much in an at-bat. But it takes a really disciplined hitter to lay off the off-speed pitch if that's not the pitch that you are sitting on going up to the plate.
The misses have generally been up in this inning. 3 balls and a strike to Griffin. Entered the tournament with a 5-game hit streak in which he was 10 for 17. The Illinois State transfer who played 2 years at Parkland College. Blooper off the end of the bat, gloved on a hop by Knoll. The low throw in time. So 2 outs as Conkle moves up 60 feet.
And really, other than the double by Ullman, there's just been no good contact by these EIU hitters. You see them try to make the adjustment of moving up in the box. But if you're these EIU hitters, I think you have to start trying to let the ball get a little deeper and see if you can hit it the opposite way. Use the middle of the field. Don't want to pull anything. Let the ball get a little deeper. Use that right center field gap if you're a right-handed hitter. That left center gap if you're a left-handed hitter. But tons of credit to these Lindenwood pitchers for keeping this really good EIU offense off balance.
Mary Beth Dyson hit a ground out to the pitcher her last time up. Eastern Illinois 0 for 6 with runners on today. Loop down the left field line, position perfectly is Brown, and that ends the inning. For the first time today, the Panthers get a runner to third base, but again, they are held off the board. 1-0 Lindenwood. We move to the 5th.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning, and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
in this tournament. But Brianna French has been rock solid. Entered the tournament with that lengthy scoreless inning streak. There's a lot of couples so far through 2 appearances, 5 1/3 innings. And gone 2 2/3 in relief of McKenzie on each of the first 2 times. And now comes out for a fresh 5th.
Yeah, and complements McKenzie really well. We talked about it. McKenzie didn't have her best stuff today, but McKenzie more of an up ball pitcher. You're going to see a lot of down balls with French. Very much a hard drop ball pitcher. And so just a little bit different look if you're these Lindenwood hitters. Like we've talked about in this tournament, when you're facing an up ball pitcher trying to hit the top half of the ball, and now you come in and you see French, and now you have to kind of change your approach and hit the bottom half of the ball.
7 strikeouts in those 4 innings for Carly McKenzie.
You have to give a lot of credit to these Lindenwood hitters so far today. They've been really impressive. Only swinging at strikes. You haven't seen them swing at a lot of pitches outside the zone. They've worked the count ahead quite a bit. It seems like every time you look up, these Lindenwood hitters are ahead in the count. They've done a good job of being really disciplined at the plate today. And that's, I think, what has allowed them to have some success, is how disciplined they've been and not swinging at pitchers' pitches. And ultimately, I think what ended up chasing McKenzie was they weren't swinging at McKenzie's pitches.
Knoll up the middle, glove behind the base by Wambolt, in time to get the out at first. What a play from the Panthers shortstop.
Excellent play there by Wambolt, and maybe just what EIU needed. You see Wambolt fired up, felt like their energy may be lacking a little bit, and maybe just the play to turn this game over. Excellent play there by Wambolt all the way up the middle. I thought that ball was absolutely going to sneak through off the bat. Great angle there by Wambolt. Does a nice job of taking a deep angle. Doesn't try and cut that off too shallow. That's what the best players do. We've seen it in the outfield a few times in this tournament, is players that make good, consistent plays. It's all about their angles. You don't have to be the fastest or the quickest or the strongest, but you have to be the smartest. You have to take the correct angles to the correct balls, and you're going to have success. And Wambolt does just that, taking a really nice deep angle to that ball.
Wambolt, a member of the OVC all-newcomer team. Whether she's been hitting leadoff or down in the 9th spot. Those 70-plus stolen bases she had last year at the JUCO level. Tremendous speed that shows up not just on the bases and on offense, but just with the range to get to that ball up the middle and somehow get enough on the throw after setting her feet to get the out. And it's a huge one when you get Madison Knoll. Weekly rolled back up the middle again. This time it's Smith. And it is an infield single. Second base in a row for Anna Sanders.
Wouldn't you know, Anna Sanders sitting on first base. I mean, certainly, if Lindenwood goes the distance, you could make the argument MVP of this tournament certainly will be on the all-tournament team, no doubt about that.
I think for Smith there, the only chance he really had was to get over and backhand that ball and try to rock and fire, but she kept shuffling the feet and fielded that between her legs and was never going to have a prayer. Tori Hatton having as good a day as anybody. 2 for 2 in a game that, after that infield single, has 8 total hits. Good stop on a ball down low from Ullman. I mean, we are into the late innings. It feels like this game's gone by pretty quickly. Had that run. Just a few batters into the game in the top of the first. Nobody scored since. Hatton, high bouncing ball back Smith's direction. Underhand flip for the second out.
And wouldn't you know,
I was going to say, I almost don't even want to say it because I know exactly where you're going.
Kylie Crowder comes up with 2 outs, runner in scoring position. It seems like every time Crowder's been up to the plate this whole tournament, there's been runners in scoring position. Came up with the big hit in that first inning to plate the only run across.
You know, you want your best players to be coming up in clutch situations. You wonder what Kylie Crowder's thinking, because She's just got to know, hey, one or two of the people in front of me is getting on, one or two of them is probably getting out, and I'm about to come up in a very high leverage spot yet again.
Well, when you're as sure as Anna Sanders getting on base.
That's very true.
You have to know you're going to be hitting with runners on.
All of the hits for Crowder, all 5 of them this week, have come when the team has really needed a base hit and a run. 7 RBIs so far through 5 games. This time pounds it into the ground, left side, back towards Wamble. Not in time, no throw coming home. Great base running from Sanders, make it 2-0.
We've seen this a few times, talked about it multiple times throughout this tournament. Lindenwood does an excellent job. They run out every single base hit. Absolutely, Crowder gets on her horse. An excellent base running there from Sanders with 2 outs. Absolutely, you are rounding third base hard.
And the tough thing here, took a little bit too much time, but on this throw to first, I mean, you could see when Hatton caught that, instead of looking home just in case, her face looked to the right, and she looked at the first base umpire, Christina Bates, to see what the call was going to be, and that did not allow her enough time for a throw home.
And
Runner's coming down the line, and instead she looks the other way.
Yeah, and absolutely safe there. Credit to Crowder. Just weak contact. You see a lot of players put their head down and maybe not run that out. Big time heads up play from Crowder, from Sanders. Those are the little things that'll certainly win you this ball game.
Well, that goes down as an infield single, and she does get the RBI on a ground ball to short that scores Anna Sanders from second. Anna Sanders is quietly having one of the best tournaments of anybody, and Kylie Crowder just continues to be clutch. Lindenwood able to double the lead. Couple of singles, some great base running and hustle. And now it's 2-0. And Viola Smith, there's the power on display again, but well out in front. So 8-9-1 for this Panthers offense that has had a record-setting year when it comes to runs scored. But they have been silenced today by the likes of Riley Owens and Samantha Rolanitis. Rolanitis came up a leadoff single last inning, a wild pitch that advanced the runner. For the first time, EIU had a runner at third, but they still have not scored. Only one player in the OVC tournament has multiple home runs, though, and that is Viola Smith. She's 2 for 8. Both homers, 2-run shots. And she's worked it back 2-2.
Rolanitis continues to use her off speed. That one hard, but continues to pound the zone, mixing speeds, mixing locations.
In the air, out towards left center. This time the ballpark will hold on to it, though, as Brown hauls it in. What a day this could be for Lindenwood as a team, as a program, as a university. This is their first year of eligibility for an NCAA tournament in any and all sports. They haven't made one yet. That could change if they hold on here and then win again this afternoon. First year in D1 was 2023. This is their 4th season. The best and longest run they've made in the OVC softball tournament. And here they are, leading the 1 seed as we get into the late innings. Wamble punts it foul.
And of note, EIU did not play a conference game this season that they didn't score a run. They scored at least 1 run in every single conference game they played this season.
Riding one of the longest winning streaks in the country, 14 straight. There's a flail from Chloe Wambold and a second strikeout for Rolanitis.
Now by the third baseman, number 14, Lizzie Stuyvesant.
We talked about it, how hard it is when you sweep a team in the regular season, how hard it is to beat any team a 4th time.
Of the 3 conference losses all year for Eastern Illinois, they came from a combined 3 runs. They lost 5-4 in 9 innings to UT Martin on April 3rd. And then on April 11th, they got swept in a doubleheader at SEMO, 9-8 and 4-3. So potentially staring down the barrel of their first loss in OVC play by more than 1 run and their first shutout. But it's still just the 5th inning. And this is still the best offense in the conference all year long. And here's the conference player of the year. Down 1-2 to boot. She rolls it foul. It might only take 1 big swing to get them going again.
Yeah, absolutely. But you have to give so much credit to the way Rolanitis has been pitching. That off-speed pitch has been money for her and has kept these hitters off balance when she does go to her hard pitches.
Laced into center. That is just the 3rd hit of the day. As Stuyvesant is aboard. And they have had a base runner steal in all 5 frames.
Now by the right fielder, number 13, Alicia Frederick.
Here's Alicia Frederick, who's 0 for 2. If she can reach, and they get to the bats of Ullman and Hatton, who have been RBI machines, 2nd and 3rd in the conference in the regular season, they feel like they would be right back in it. Good speed at the plate and at first. And a 2-0 count. And here comes Franz, who's not your everyday catcher. The hero yesterday with the walk-off win. And a quick word or two with Samantha Rolanitis.
Yeah, and Rolanitis actually was one who initiated that, called timeout and wanted Franz to come out for a minute. Maybe just give her a minute to reset. She'd been rolling the first 2 hitters of this inning. Now falls behind on Frederick, 2-0. Frederick's got to look for something that she can drive to the outfield.
Didn't get it and took it for ball 3. And you wouldn't imagine she would have the green light here.
Absolutely. Sometimes, and with the way EIU's been seeing the ball today, not as well, you absolutely have to imagine she has the take, and maybe we'll get a take for the 2nd time too.
Timed it up on the straight take.
Yeah, and if this pitch is not exactly where she wants it, exactly where she feels like she can barrel up the ball, another hitter's count, does not have to go after it.
Ball 4, 2-1. Eastern Illinois has one extra base hit today, and it came from the batter who climbs in next.
Now by the catcher, number 10, Sophia Ullman.
Sophia Ullman will shed the catcher's gear and climb into the box. 1 for 2 with a double in the first inning. And Aaron Brown is going to slowly walk on out. No question about it. This is the biggest at-bat of the day for Eastern Illinois. It comes right on the heels of Lindenwood getting that 2-out run on just a slow roller to short that scored a base runner from second. And now everything hanging in the balance. Bottom of the 5th inning. Got to be some nervy moments for both teams.
Yeah, and I like this mound visit here by Coach Brown. Go out, just settle her pitcher down a little bit. Uncharacteristic walk there for Rolanitis, who had been absolutely rolling up until that point. And so settle her down, ask her what she feels like is working, get on the same page with how you do want to pitch to Ullman, who's an excellent hitter. And that way, talk to your defense a little bit just about positioning with 2 outs and a hitter in Ullman who absolutely is not going to square around a bunt. You want your corners and your middles playing as deep as possible to give you the most depth.
Sophia Ullman is 4 for 7 with a couple of RBIs in the OVC tournament so far. And she takes ball 1. First team All-OVC player who is 3rd in runs batted in the regular season. Across her last 9 conference games, she is 14 for 27. And takes a strike.
Really good take there by Ullman. And sometimes when you're having a hard time finding your hard stuff as a pitcher, Rolanitis has absolutely gone back to that changeup and a good take. Don't want to swing at that. Up in the count.
And there's your speed aboard at second. And that is ruled ball 2. Single could make it a 1-run game. Gap shot could tie it. Ullman's got 9 home runs this year, but cues this right back to the pitcher, and another threat erased from Samantha Rolanitis in Lindenwood. Reason to be fired up. Eastern Illinois still hitless on the afternoon with runners on. Rolanitis continues to twirl a gem in relief. And we're going to the 6th inning with the Lions still up by a pair. Through 5 innings, Lindenwood leads by 2. They've got some great work in the circle from Owens and Rolanitis. Sanders and Crowder have a couple of hits apiece. Crowder's driven in both runs. That was huge. McKenzie was chased after 4. And 2 of the 3 hits for Eastern Illinois have come with 2 outs and nobody on base. Today's game track is presented by Visit SI. Make Southern Illinois your summer oasis. Panthers 0 for 8 with runners on, 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. And Lindenwood finally was able to add on to the lead last inning, too. On the 2-out infield single. And a quick conversation here. So Izzy Wilcox, who came in to pinch run when Carter Skillman reached on a walk in the 4th inning, is now taking her first at-bat of the day. Down 0-2 to Brianna French. Hits it on the ground, right to Smith, who boots it. She has had a mishap defensively in each game of the tournament. The young second baseman.
Yeah, just drops to a knee. You never want to see an infielder drop to a knee. You see that knee, that right knee goes down to the ground. You never want to see that as an infielder. Needs to work through that ball. Ultimately, that ball just eats her up because of that. She's catching that ball flat-footed. Big break here for Lindenwood. See if they can get a little bit more run support for their pitching. Would love to push another 1 or 2 across.
And it's one of their best base runners who's on now with nobody out. Wilcox stole a base last inning. I'd say last time she was on 2 innings ago. And did steal one last game, too.
And another what you would expect to be bunt opportunity with Franz up to the plate. But now the second pitch that Franz has had to swing away doesn't take a sign from Coach Brown. Likely going to swing away again here. Just interesting here where Coach Brown does like to sack bunt, but with Franz up, giving her the swing away.
Just like last time, and this time she drives one deep down the left field line, and it is gone! A 2-run shot for Danielle Franz. Her first home run of the season, 4-0 Lindenwood.
And Danielle Franz taking advantage of every opportunity she's been given. Was a defensive replacement late in the game, early in this OVC tournament. Has just taken the reins and run with it. Has had some really quality at-bats, but no bigger moment, no bigger at-bat than this one right here to give Lindenwood a 4-run lead late in this ball game. Big-time AB from Danielle Franz.
And it is something that came up in our phone call with Dan and Christy Paulson. Brianna French had gone 112 out of 3rd innings, allowing just 1 home run all year, and it came in February. So that never happens to her. And this most unsung of heroes off the bench in Franz, walk-off hit in her first at-bat of the tournament. Now starting each and every day, and that is a huge swing to double the lead. And it was Eastern Illinois we were just talking about with the power threats that can change the game in a hurry because they've had a couple home runs in each game.
And remember, this inning started with that error at second base by Smith. One of those runs unearned.
Yeah, turns a solo shot into a 2-run smash instead. This is not a place Eastern Illinois really ever finds themselves. Getting blanked in a game late in conference play. They've had some comeback wins. That 12-11 win versus Lindenwood, they trailed in extras by 2 in the 12th, trailed by 3 in the 13th. They were down 3 in the 7th inning, and Stuyvesant hit a game-tying 3-run shot. If there's a team in the conference that can come back from this, it's the Panthers. Dallas Darnell, a check swing roller right back Smith's way, and much better this go-around.
Yeah, does a better job there of keeping her feet moving, not feeling that flat-footed. Sometimes as an infielder, the hardest balls to field are the ones that are right at you. You always, as an infielder, want to keep your feet moving through a ground ball, and sometimes when they're right at you, just get caught a little flat-footed.
What's been most impressive with Lindenwood? Because this is, at least in my mind, been their most complete game, I think, far and away this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've seen it. They made all of the routine plays on defense that they needed to make. They've gotten excellent pitching. You can't say enough about the pitching. And then hitting, they've had really quality at bats. They're swinging at strikes. They're not swinging at pitchers' pitches. They're working these pitchers deep into counts. You're seeing these counts go 2-2, 3-2, and they're getting in really good hitting opportunities. They're getting themselves in opportunities where they're going to see a pitch they can hit hard, and that's so much about hitting, is getting yourself in a position that you're going to see a good pitch that you can barrel up. And that's what they're doing. They're doing a good job of laying off pitchers' pitches, borderline pitches, and they're doing a good job of sticking to their plan, swinging at pitches that they can barrel up, and have come up with some clutch hits.
Ball and 2 strikes to Taryn Brown. And French induces the slow roller right back to her. And I'm glad you said routine plays, because it's really those. They don't need to make the spectacular plays defensively. They just need to avoid the mistakes and make the plays that they need to make and should make. Because that's what has kind of doomed them at times throughout this tournament.
Absolutely, and that's what you want when you're looking at a clean defensive game. You're not looking at your players to make these diving top 10 catches. You want them to make the routine plays.
Backhanded play by Wamble. Did not have enough time to throw out Madison Knoll, who gets her second single of the day.
And going back to these Lindenwood hitters, I think it's important to note that you don't always have to have the best swing, the most mechanically sound swing. You can look at any of these hitters. I mean, look at Anna Sanders, and you can break her swing down, and I'm sure you can find some flaws here or there. But what good hitters do is they get themselves in productive counts. They swing at good pitches and good counts. And so I think the biggest part of the evolution of a hitter is finding yourself in counts where you're going to see strikes. And that's the hardest thing to learn is finding what pitch you can hit hard and laying off those other pitches. So often you see hitters that swing at pitches that they just don't even have a chance on, and then they get themselves in counts where they're down in the count and they have to have just more protective type swings.
Chopper right back up the middle. Smith has no play. Got a piece of the mitt of French. And now a couple of 2-out base runners.
Now by the first baseman, number 10,
So back-to-back
Tori
infield
Hatton.
singles. That's giving Tori Hatton a chance. Any more runs home in this inning could be critical to Lindenwood moving on to play one more game. If they win, it is all or nothing for both teams in a second game of this championship Saturday. If Eastern Illinois rallies and pulls off the comeback, they would be crowned conference tournament champs. But it's been the Lions playing from in front all game long. And in terms of, game of inches, all about the little things, however you want to draw it up. In the first inning, the run that came around to score was a bloop single that hit off the end of the mid of Smith. The second run scored on an infield single where Anna Sanders was played it all the way from second because she just never stopped hustling. On the ground, up the middle, Hatton into center for a base hit. Knoll coming around the throw, not in time. A 3-hit day for Tori Hatton and a 3-spot here for Lindenwood.
And Tori Hatton continues to just use the middle of this field. Excellent job there. I mean, just such a clean inside-out swing. Does probably about a best of job as any hitter in this tournament at staying inside the softball. And just has absolutely worn out the middle of that infield. Every single ball been right back up the middle or to the right side.
So then earlier this inning, the error, and then the home run, and now 3 straight ground balls have led to 3 straight singles. That's given Kylie Crowder, get this, a chance with 2 on and 2 away. I can tell you're stunned.
Yeah.
It happens every inning. In the first, you came on with 2 out, or with 2 on base, I should say, and 1 out. Next time up, 2 on, 2 away. Last AB, runner in scoring position with 1 out, and now runners at first and second with 2 down. Throw down to third, and another good read from Anna Sanders.
Lindenwood playing just like a really, really mature and sound team. The best by far we've seen them play all tournament. Getting good reads, making good plays, good defense.
Crowder rips it into center. Basket, shoestring catch from Mary Beth Dyson. Mark that one down, put a star by it if Eastern Illinois comes back. But Lindenwood does add 3 more to the tally in firm control. 5-0 halfway through the 6th.
Hey girls, swung the new mantra yet?
No, but I heard that bat is insane.
Y'all want to swing for it?
Yeah, we do, but we know how that went last time.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls. Come on. And y'all can stand on your own. I guess I'll give you a couple.
We'll actually take 4.
Mantra, power on repeat.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Four runs across the last 2 innings. And a crooked number in the top half of this frame have given Lindenwood a 5-0 lead. They have out-hit Eastern Illinois 11-3 today. Middle third in the order coming up. What an impressive performance this has been all around. From Owens and from Rolanitis inside the circle. From the lineup 1 through 9. The key cogs in the middle have come through. Nolan Sanders at the top have delivered. And they got that huge swing from the catcher Danielle Franz this last inning to put up 2 more. Abby Hatton will start things off as she lifts that foul. I mean, Eastern Illinois has to know they've been easily the best team in the conference all season long, but might be a little tougher when it's a situation you're not usually finding yourselves in with a lot of adversity late in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Chasing 5 late in the game. This Lindenwood team just continues to pick up and gain momentum. They've looked better and better every game in this tournament. We just had a feeling that big win last night against SIUE when the bats just kind of floodgates open, that they were going to have a ton of momentum coming into this ball game.
Yeah, they really have gotten better in every game this week. Lost the first one. Played some tight ones. That was not the case yesterday. 13-5 their win late last night versus SIUE. That was a game that was tied when they put up 5 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th inning, and then 3 more in the last. And it has just been pedal to the metal since. And as strong as the offense has looked, you got to give some credit to Owens and Ricem yesterday, and Owens and Rolanitis today. mean, since the 5th inning a day ago, they have outscored SIUE and Eastern Illinois, the 1 and 3 seeds, 15-2. That is strike 3 called, and a big out to begin the inning for Rolanitis.
Rolanitis just continues to work hard down, but the reason that that pitch is able to be so successful is because she's throwing her off-speed pitch for a strike and in every single count. So these hitters are trying to, these Eastern Illinois hitters are trying to sit on her soft stuff, and they're also trying to sit on her hard stuff, and you just can't do that. You've got to pick a speed when you're getting the ball, when you're seeing the mix of speeds as much as you're seeing from Rolanitis. She's throwing that off-speed pitch in every count.
Mohant's 0 for 2 with the ground out and a strikeout. That Eastern Illinois dugout making as much noise as they had all day long, just trying to get this team back in it, get some energy back. They need a shot in the arm. They were hoping it would come from that catch from Dyson to end the last inning. If she didn't make that terrific grab, we'd be talking about a 7-0 game. And we got the Wigs and the 2-2s for the 1-1. Served out to left. Should be another routine play for Brown.
So another lazy fly ball by Rolanitis, inducing that. Continues to just get really lazy balls hit off from these EIU hitters. Excellent job keeping their timing off balance. When you're a pitcher that doesn't necessarily have overpowering stuff, if you can have a good changeup, you can do exactly what Rolanitis is doing and keeping a really potent offense off the board. You don't always have to have overpowering stuff. You don't have to have one pitch that's just consistently your go-to pitch. If you can find that changeup and throw that changeup for a strike, you have a really good opportunity to keep hitters off balance.
Crushed down the left field line, foul. 0-2 to Lexi Griffin. So far for Samantha Rolanitis, she has gone 3 shutout innings. 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 Ks. Worked around a jam last inning with 2 runners aboard, and no such jam coming here in the 6th inning. 3 up, 3 down. She strikes out a pair. The best inning for anybody in the circle for Lindenwood today. It's Rolanitis, much like the team, just getting better as the tournament goes on and getting stronger as this game progresses. It's been domination through 6 innings for the Lions. Seventh inning of action. Game 1 of potentially 2 today. We came into this championship Saturday. Eastern Illinois with the win would be crowned tourney champs for the 2nd straight year. If Lindenwood wins this game, we would have a second all-or-nothing game for both squads. And it's been all Lindenwood. They've had the lead since the 1st inning. Scored a run, 4 batters in. Have held on to it since. And over the last couple of innings, they have just been playing add-on. Emily Geary 0 for 3 today. French still in the circle. 3 runs home last inning. Fort Lindenwood felt like it might have put this game to rest, just the way that they have thrown it from their 2 pitchers today. And perfectly probably what Aaron Brown and company wanted on paper was for Riley Owens to go once through the lineup, induce a lot of ground balls, maybe face a couple batters a couple times, give it to Rolanitis, have her take over, and have the offense just slowly put some runs together like they did last night. It's exactly been the script we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And if that was the game plan, it played out perfectly for Lindenwood. They still do have arguably their ace of their staff, Avery Wap, who we haven't seen today either. Again, she is dealing with that labrum injury, and so really a pain tolerance issue. We did see her go the distance. She went a full 7 innings in a game earlier this tournament.
You wonder what the rest and recovery was like after that. It's anybody's guess as to what we could potentially see from her in a potential second game as Geary draws the leadoff walk.
And I think at this point, if you're Lindenwood, you're playing with nothing to lose. You're playing free. You're playing pressure-free. You've really, I mean, losing the first game of that first game of their tournament must have been tough. And to just play with their backs against the wall at this point, they have no pressure on them. If anything, EIU has all the pressure coming in as a favorite, coming in as a 1 seed, coming in after only playing 2 games this tournament, absolutely scoring a ton of runs. And for Lindenwood, just playing free. And you've seen that here today. Just not a lot of pressure on them. Everyone expects EIU to come out and dominate. Everyone has expected EIU to win. They won the regular season to win this tournament. And so sometimes those expectations can just be a little bit too much.
So that is Addison Rios, by the way, at second, who's taken over for Smith on the defensive side of things. Could be something that could play a role in a second game, should we get there. Easy Wilcox chops one on the ground towards second, right to Rios. Only play to first. You had Geary in motion, who got a good jump. So they get just 1 out.
What do you know? Defensive substitution, and the ball somehow finds her.
And it's the second ground ball in a row from Wilcox to second. The last one was kicked. That started off last inning, and then Danielle Franz came up and left the yard right down the left field line. The last 2 times up for Franz. Runner at first, nobody out. And we were kind of questioning the idea of not dropping down a sack bunt with someone who hasn't had much experience this year at the plate. First time, it didn't pay off. She didn't bunt, struck out looking. Second time, I feel like we ate our words up here in the booth because she put up the biggest swing of the day.
Absolutely, and has really put up good swings throughout this tournament since she was given that one opportunity. Has had good at-bats, has been barreling up balls, and like you said, arguably the biggest swing of the day, really probably of her career.
I mean, the home run and the walk-off hit, probably a close 1-2. They might not be here without the previous one. They might not be advancing to a potential winner-take-all second championship game of this Saturday without that 2-run shot. But when you're up by 5 and you got someone with power, I wouldn't be shocked. At 3-1, she was looking for another pitch to drive. Already 11 hits for this offense today. 3-1 has popped up. Hatton over to it, plenty of room. 2 gone. And Madison Adams, he's going to pinch hit here with 2 outs in the 7th. sophomore will bat for Dallas Darnell, who was 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
Now back to the line.
Base hit would add another insurance run. They already got 3 last inning. This margin already rather substantial, given that Eastern Illinois only has 3 hits.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously always want to push as many runs across as you can. We saw, EIU does have the ability with one swing of the bat to change the game. But it's just seemed like that 2-run home run from Franz just kind of deflated this EIU team. Felt like the game maybe was within reach until that 3 spot was put up in the top half of the 6th inning by Lindenwood. But certainly Coach Brown would love to push another run across.
Eastern Illinois has been in this championship game 4 straight years. They won in 2023. They won last year. It's notable last year they did lose the first game on Saturday. As the 1 seed to the 2 seed SIUE. That was 4-3. Lost by 1. And then came back and won the next game by 1-0 in 8 innings. So it's a team that's been there before and a coaching staff that was there just last year in their first year together.
Yeah, and a team that, in talking with Coach Paulson, Dan and Christie, have said that this team is a much more mature team from a pressure standpoint. Last year, sometimes didn't always do the best under pressure. This year have done much better. Played a really tough non-conference schedule. Came into conference and just kind of barreled through conference play. And here, first 2 games of this tournament, but kind of hitting their first little stride of adversity here. We'll see how they respond. They still have 3 outs, big out here to get, and then 3 more outs offensively. But first time we'll see EIU have to respond to a little bit of adversity.
In and out of the mid of Ullman as Adams able to live to see another pitch. Start thinking about what we could see in the circle next game, too, if Lindenwood holds on. Carly McKenzie went 4 innings in this first game. She went all 8 last year in that final game. That's strike 3 called, and that will end the inning. Leadoff walk does not come around to bite Brianna French. Last chance for Eastern Illinois. They trail by 5. Have just 3 hits so far today. Backwards K towards the outside corner ends it. Last chance for the Panthers on the other side. Last of the 7th here in Peoria, with the last 3 in the order. Coming up for Eastern Illinois. Trying to make things interesting. They need base runners, and they need them right now. Been held off the board through 6 innings. Riley Owens went 2 2/3. Samantha Rolanitis has gone 3 1/3 so far. She's picked up 4 strikeouts. 2 in the last 3 batters. I mean, she had a stretch where she retired 5 straight and gave up a couple base runners and has now recorded 4 outs in a row.
EIU with just 3 hits on the day.
I mean, you're used to Eastern Illinois picking up hit after hit and putting up crooked numbers and the offense being contagious. And when they've gotten hits, 2 of the 3 have been 2-out knocks with nobody on base.
And just not really great swings from EIU. Just a lot of, like I've talked about time and time again, soft contact, but just kind of flailing, just kind of throwing their barrel out there, not connected with their bottom half, just kind of letting their top hand just kind of throw the barrel at the ball. Not a connected swing, not a good kind of strong, solid swing. And you have to give so much credit, you know, to the pitching staff, right? That's not because EIU are not good hitters. It's because the pitching staff has done an incredible job of throwing off the timing of these EIU hitters.
Mary Beth Dyson takes up high for ball 3. Count is full. Just the 3 hits. They've also drawn only a couple of walks, 1 for each pitcher, Owens and Rolanitis. Last thing you want to do would be walk the leadoff hitter when you had this kind of a lead. On the ground towards second, and there's the first down. So this matches the best stretch for Rolanitis or Owens today, having recorded 5 outs in a row.
Number 9, Viola Smith.
And Viola Smith, who was not playing second base defensively in the top of this inning, now back in with the bat in her hands. Knocked down, regathered by Sanders for out number 2. We mentioned it, just making the routine plays. Nothing spectacular, but avoiding the mistake.
Yeah, and this is a really good struck ball. Sanders does a nice job sticking with that. Thought that ball might sneak through the 5-6 hole, and Sanders says absolutely not. Makes a strong throw across to first base, and Hatton, now EIU down to their final out.
Peyton Dwiggins will pinch hit. Batting in Wambolt's spot, the 9-hole hitter. 1 out away, the Lions, from forcing a winner-take-all championship game that would follow about 30 to 40 minutes after this one concludes. What a dominant performance. A run in the first, 1 in the 5th, 3 more in that massive 6th inning. And Eastern Illinois has gone the entire game without a base hit with runners on. 0 for 8. They are just 3 for 22 for the day on paper. It's the best offense in the conference. Talking about their depth yesterday and the game before that too.
And you have to imagine just the way Rolanitis has literally been rolling. You have to imagine if they go out and throw her back on the bump again until these EIU hitters can show that they can have better plate appearances against her and hit the ball on the screws. I mean, obviously Lindenwood has some depth in the pitching department, but with the way Rolanitis has been pitching, it may not be a bad idea to throw her out there again just until EIU starts to make an adjustment, because right now they don't have an answer for anything Rolanitis is giving them.
It's a 4-pitch walk to Dwiggins. Second walk allowed by Rolanitis this afternoon. And we haven't seen many balls barreled. Nothing hard hit, especially to the outfield. This has been an outlier of a performance offensively in the grand scheme for Eastern Illinois. They've still got one out to work with, but if they can't muster up an incredible comeback, they will still have one more chance and a game to follow. So Lambolt back running at first as Lizzie Stuyvesant steps in. One of the longest active winning streaks in the country. He's hanging on the line right now. Nobody's got a longer one than Nebraska, but Eastern Illinois has won 14 straight. 70 pitches in relief for Rolanitis so far. And this has really been the first point where she struggled with the control.
Yeah, and a tall task, obviously. EIU only working with one out, but Stuyvesant, Frederick, Ullman, Hatton.
In the air, out to center. The wind bringing it further back, and the shortstop, Noel, has it to end the game. Lindenwood ends Eastern Illinois' 14-game win streak. And we will come back for a winner-take-all OVC Tournament Championship game in just about 40 minutes. A dominant performance. Lindenwood gives Eastern Illinois just their 4th OVC loss of the year and their first in shutout fashion.
Absolutely dominant on all sides of the ball for Lindenwood. I mean, just so much credit to Riley Owens and then Rolanitis coming in and just an incredible outing. Defensively, they did all the right things. They made the plays that they had to make, and then offensively, they got the big hits when they needed them, squaring up balls. They were good on the base pass, and just all around impressive performance by Lindenwood. They have to feel really good about facing this EIU team for a second time.
There we go. If necessary, well, we're telling you, it's necessary. The 1 seed and the 4 seed, Eastern Illinois and Lindenwood going right back to it after the Lions get a shutout win, 5-0. We play one more, and it sounds like in 35 minutes at 2 p.m. Central Time, we will have our winner-take-all title game. Can Eastern Illinois make it back-to-back tournament titles? Can Lindenwood win their first ever OVC championship? Well, we'll have an answer in just a few hours. Come back in 35 minutes for our final game of the OVC tourney. So for Kirsten Dow, I'm Max Thomas saying so long from Louisville Slugger Park in Peoria, Illinois, where Lindenwood in shutout fashion behind a gem from Owens and Rolanitis takes down Eastern Illinois. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.